Hi, everybody. This is I am really my life right now, other than fussy cutting. And I love to fussy cut. I don't. Yeah, I love to fussy cut. And as people may or may not be joining me, I wanted to see if I can go on to and thought I would pop on here and do wanted to join me. It's a I just thought I would do that. I noticed that it's Friday, internet's not great. So, but since I'm fussy cutting YouTube like I am on StreamYard, so we'll see how that goes. I'll try to watch the chat from yeah. Let me see. I'll turn this down, turn down the volume. Okay, so the last couple days I have been fussy cutting. So I've got this box here that I hope to work on today and get finished off. The edges have been cut, and I may or may put ink around them or cut them down and do a little bit more kiss cuts on them. I'm sort of in a little Coquette moment. I know it's been really popular, and it's that time of the year where we're all getting ready for bows, right? We've got the holidays coming up, and we're finishing fall. All is just, and I'm wanting to finish fall because I try to work 2 or 3 months ahead of time. I did not necessarily get a chance to do that. I've done a few things here that are fall and Christmas, but I found some digitals that were just so sweet, and I want to try to make some little ephemera packs like this. I have a sale going on tomorrow with that, but I want to make some kits that have, oh, let me show you what I've got here. Let me open it up a little bit. I know I'm really close. I could pull out just a little bit more. It's just not as pretty. So as you guys know, I like to make my little bits. And a lot of times I need to have ephemera that is ready for that to happen. So look how cute this could be. This is a little bit big for that. But I go through my sewing machine and take 2 or 3 layers. And so I have that one will be cuter with the green. So there's some green in there. I have a whole bin of fabric that I want to make some of my little bits with, but I know I want to have some focal points ready. So I'm cutting all the focal points, and then I might make bigger cards as well, because I don't always have a lot of larger, these are my little bits, and I don't always have the large, but that is what probably 3.5 is. So I just want to have enough items to make more little bits like this coming into Christmas. Here is, so this is what is in my kit normally. And so look how, like, this doesn't have anything necessarily on it. So I can go ahead and put some here and get a little bit more viable to play with. So I'm just going through and prepping to do that so I can have a lot more little bits available for this season. So that's all I'm really working on today. If you guys are able to join me and want to hang out, that's great. It looks like people are busy on a Friday. People are going back to school. But I can do a video or I can do a live and you can watch it like a video later. So I'm okay with that. and hopefully it won't get too bad. So let me show you some of the things that I did. I could not sleep a couple nights ago, so I knew I printed up a whole bunch of ephemera that I wanted to cut down. I cut down a lot of it. Knew I wanted to either ink it down a little bit more. You know, you cut and then you cut on it, and I can grab and go later. So I tend to do that as well. So I'm going to put away these little fussy cut things. Let me show you what I've done, and I'll separate it into the different genres. So and I've got my cup of coffee here. Just so there is some Christmas, and I'm into this denim. So Miss Carolyn from Carolyn's Craft Tree, she did some denim work, some pages on denim, and they were beautiful. And so it inspired me to just go to Creative Fabric, print all the Coquette. I hope I'm saying that right. Is that and Coquette is just like girly. It's like you think what, you know. So you get the cute little doodles on bows and hearts and stars and all the things. Well, it's Christmas time. I have to have hot chocolate there. Just all the things that are sweet and precious. So the denim kits that I printed were mainly spring, which is okay because I like spring things. And if they don't sell this season, then I'm ready. I'll be ahead for spring anyways. But they're so cute. People might want to put them in journals for gifts that they're giving to people for like a garden journal or something like that. So I love this. It's sort of like a whole 3D effect. I did some kiss cuts on these. I'll just show you what I've done so far. And I hope to make some pockets and just do some cute kits with blue and or have grab and goes for my own journals that I make. So this is what I was able to finish off. These are pretty well prepped for sewing onto things or putting onto cards and or additional ephemera kits. So a lot of times I will leave space, like when you have those those little tiny pieces, I will just leave a white around it and use distress ink. So this has the option. I'm going to set this over to the side. I'll do this. I'll probably cut this down a little bit more and distress ink it. So that sort of made it into the pile, but it was good timing. So let's see. Here is a cute little journal book. Isn't that sweet? Oh my goodness. For all of us journal girls and planner girls, this is so fun. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing is making some Christmas ornaments, and this will be perfect for like a little Christmas ornament. And here is some cherry flowers, blossoms. I've sort of like the cherry blossom theme right now. I've been in that. It's good for Japanese as well as spring and all that fun. Being and watching anime with my husband, another great garden journal. Here is just like, could be a little book plate, a tag with little book plates. So aren't these sweet? This is a little bit more rustic. I think this is like back to school. So these will go good even in a boys journal if I need to go that route. And this is sort of, when I think of Coquette, this is what I think of Coquette. You got the flowers and the stars and the different little emblems, and we just sort of randomly make a little collage or gallery of those items. Remember the old brads, and just fun stuff. And then there was a kit that just had really pretty blue things in it. And I was just thinking journal girls finishing up summer. Blueberries are great here on the coast. the Northwest has, and the Northwest is really nice in September and October usually. So it sort of lends to people visiting here. Got more of a travel journal on that one. This is also another favorite. I should make lots. I'll wait until it's not blurry. Oh, it's not blurry on YouTube. It is a little blurry on YouTube. There we go. But yeah, this has a little photo vibe to it, which is very cool. And just the relaxed girl theme, right? So we're just with the flowers. How sweet is that? So these would be cute little small journals, and put that on a cover, and it could just be a blank journal with pages inside, or you can decorate it up. It would be really good for maybe engagement for all the French girls. I like these two because there are a lot of sports events that happen in the winter and fall here on the coast. So when it's not busy, but the girls are out here doing volleyball and doing basketball tournaments in like the winter, having a few of these around for the teen girls is really fun. And this is great for FHA girls. Some of our friends named Wooly. Thinking of you, Wooly, when I put that on the page for me to play with. So I went into Creative Fabrica, downloaded about 8 different types of denim ephemera kits, and then put 4 to 6 pieces on a page, and then I cut out the pages, and I'm inking them now. So I will eventually make some kits and do some things with them, but I wanted to just have some things to play with right now. Have to sort of pick your battle, right? I'm so excited. So this summer, I have not done a lot of filming. I have not done a lot of lives other than the what am I thinking of? The Sunday events where with Mama Juju, where we celebrate America. I like these because they're very Americana as well. So it will sort of feed into that. This one needs to be inked a little bit more, I think. So does this one. But look at all these little denim bags, aren't those? With the leather, how cute. So you can sort of tell the different kits as I've gone through a couple. They all have a little bit of different style. And some are more teen or rustic, or a little bit more edgy. I just love these. I was a denim girl in high school. I loved denim. We were starting to get into like the little embroidery. I remember ripped jeans, like junior high school. My first jacket had, I think I might still have it. It was a tan ripped denim I got in Colorado. Oh, I just loved that denim style. I still do. I'm very rustic and in the styles that I like. Here's a cute little butterfly and whimsical. So these quilted themes and the Converse. Oh, did you guys have a pair of, who can afford a pair of Converse nowadays? You just can't. But wow, back in the day, having a pair of Converse was awesome. So my little sister looks adorable in these hats. I just can't wear them. This shape, for some reason, doesn't work for me. I can get away with this a little bit, but I'm much more of the flowery garden hat looks best on me. So these are so edgy. It really is nostalgic to sort of play with these. And the other thing that I love about them is I really want to start it's all scrapbooky, right? You got the inked edges and the hearts and the little dots. It's so reminiscent of that time. And it's what I love to do. Let me see. So I made this little journal card the other day. It was a white piece of paper. So I go through and I cut all the white out. And if I have pieces this big, I will salvage them and try to make things like this out of it. So look how cute that will look on a bigger page. And so I needed some bigger pieces, not the little tiny bits like I normally use, to make bigger collage or layered cards or pockets. So here are some hearts. So my goal, I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker because you're getting the feel, right? But look how cute. This is totally the ripped edges, and Carolyn's Craft Tree, she did some really cool stuff with that, with those as well. She's got a video out there with ripped denim edges. So awesome. So you can get some words and put like joy on here, or you can, do your favorite verse on here, put somebody's name on here. That would make a great customized journal. Same with these tags. Even if you put a tag with somebody's name in it, if you're gifting it to them. So very cute. These are a little bit more masculine. You got a star. You got some boots. And then the bags and bows. And how great are these for next year, right? So all the Americana theme. So we're celebrating 250 years. You can like do the backpacks going to school, girls, sort of mom boss, girl boss type ideas. This could be a fishing hat for either gender. And then the blue boots. So I want to go through and do this with all the colors. I've got yellows printed up as well, that I might get to some of the yellows. But I like this because these are so reusable, right? We can use them all year long for any theme. This could look good on a Valentine's journal, Easter, wedding. You could go that route. You can go nautical if you have the right items for them. So the little hiker girl, Bible study. Bags were just starting to look like this when I got out of high school. My sister had a few. I loved this. And then people, we're the crafter girls who make all these, right? So this sort of lends into those of us who like to shop, those of us who like to embroider, those who want to be happy, those of us who want to think outside of the box. And the rainbow, it fits both, faith-based and other lifestyles too. And I just love, gosh, all the flair. I'm just like going back to I'm doing nostalgia lane. So I'm doing all the chatting, probably boring you to death. I'll go through these really quick. I sort of want to just get closer so that you can see. They sort of look better. You can see them as I grab them. So talking 80s. Okay, this week, so much has happened this week. My mind is blown. I've been working super hard. You would never guess it with the way that my house looks. But I couldn't sleep this night. So I went through and cut out all of these plus that whole other box. So I spent like 4 hours cutting down the sixers out. And now I'm going to go through, and I worked a few more hours at cutting these down, like kiss cutting or inking these. So I'm going to see what I can finish in the next hour or two. And maybe you guys will stick with me. Maybe you won't. It's not like I have anybody here anyway. So I am talking to the air. And we are, what? I don't know how far in we are. I know we're in probably about 10 minutes. I'm trying to look at the clock. Oh, about 21 minutes. So I've spent 21 minutes just showing you all the cute denim all the images that I thought were adorable. So I guess that's okay, because then you can get inspired and do your things, right? Look how cute this is with the wood. And then you put a little woodland animal on that and you're good to go. Or you have a cute little phrase and have a little woodland. Where's that little bear? Have a little bear to the side or something. How cute could that be? So I want to practice. I haven't done a lot of like my Kathleen Maurer. She does like those pockets that they're peekaboo pockets. So I thought maybe I could do some peekaboo pockets too. So let's see if this is more pumpkin. I've got a pumpkin there and the teddy bear. Play with that peekaboo theme a little bit more. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of that. I tend to do little bits, really basic cards and really basic belly bands. I'll put fabric and stuff on them, but I want to start building up my supplies for die cuts so they can be interactive. I love the whimsical ideas. I've got some purple going on, some purple Christmas, and some fall things in my box that I'm playing with too. So I'm going to put the holiday ones over to the side. That's what I had intended to do initially. So these are just going to come up here and I'll divide them out later. So I will probably just take a few of these and work on those with you guys and for another hour and see how far I get. I really am amazed at how long it takes to fussy cut things. I remember when I work at craft shows and it's really slow, I will take like a box of fussy cut items and just spend, I have a 3-day event. A 2-day or 2-day event I usually do. And in the summertime and spring, it might be really slow. So having fussy cuts to work on is great. I just haven't done a lot of those shows this last year. So I'm a little bit behind on having materials to play with. I feel I have boxes of ephemera sitting behind me. So I don't know why I feel that way. But it is what it is. So I want to ink these up. I'm going to put to be inked over here. I'll just cut these down a little bit more. So look how cute this is. My friend Bonnie would love these little hats with the little daisies. So this month, August was sort of a hot month for people. Like literally it was probably a hot month for people. It wasn't hot here in the Pacific Northwest. It actually rained more than I expected it to because I wanted to do some more yard work than what I did. And it's still pretty. It's not really nice out there today. But there's just been a lot going on. I had my yam kid here. If you guys don't know, I call, I've been adopted into a family and I'm, excuse me, age of a granny. So they already have a granny. So I am Yammy and I call them my yam kids. So there is a video about why they call me Yammy. You can go ahead and check that out. I will try to remember to put it below, but I'm not great at doing that. I'll try to do that. But I love this little hat. This is a type of hat I would want to wear. It's adorable, or adorkable, depending on which way we go. Did you guys ever get your colors done? Like back in the 80s and 90s, that was really big, right? I'm dating myself. But we got our colors done, right? And you were like a spring or a spring fall or a spring, and you found the colors that look good on you. I've had to wear my neutrals most of my adult life because I was an interpreter and wore dark blue and black. Not interpreter, but I worked in the deaf community and often needed to provide communication access. And so now that I am home getting to be a little bit more artistic, I am enjoying all the cute little frilly things. And it's so sweet. My husband likes, cute things. We always talk about, he just likes cute things. And I guess for some reason he thinks I'm cute. Still, I don't know how that's the case. But we, before we dated, we watched Short Circuit, and he really liked something Allie. I don't remember her last name at this point, but her character was just so cute and playful, right? So those playful hearts, girls think that guys are totally in the pretty and fashion, and they can be into that, but sweet playful hearts go a long way too. So love the Lord, love people, be sweet and fun, and it's a good life. It's a good life to live. So anyways, I got married much later in life. I was 30 before I got married. So it took a while for me to find my husband, and my friends who are on YouTube with me, they sort of give me a bad time when I talk about my husband and how sweet he is, but he just is. And so we watch anime together, and he will filter out the shows that might be a little bit rough. So we watch all the cute little rom-coms together. I am a Hallmark girl. I love the Marshmallow movies just because our life is so intense, right? There's so much that's going on. I did not have a super sweet life when I was very young. I had a wonderful mother, and I have two amazing sisters, and then some other amazing family. But I like to escape. Isn't that sweet? I just love it. I love to escape into like the sweet storylines and everything. And movies have gotten really rough and intense into like the post-apocalyptic themes and stuff like that. I think there's a place for them. You probably never want to get me down that rabbit hole. If you do, I think I just need to start another channel. Which I've thought about several times, but yeah, we're not going to go there. But it is so fascinating, everything that's going on. So this week, it's taken me 30 minutes. Okay, this week, what has happened this week? So Yam Kid left, so I'm redoing some of my bedrooms and stuff. After he's gone, I want to be in the guest room a little bit more crafting because my husband has a condition that he can't lay down in bed yet as a result of that. So we are sleeping in the living room, and my craft room is in our open space as well. So if I can't sleep, it makes it a little bit more difficult for him. So that's why I cut those fussy cut things the night I couldn't sleep. I just went into the other room, and I was able to be quiet and do some fussy cutting. So, so with that in mind, I have a great guest room, and it has more light, and it has a window, and I just think I might enjoy crafting in that space, and we have guests so little. I'm going to move the other room, have the other room become the guest room, I think. Still go back and forth on that from day to day. So I've organized my back room closet, and I'm moving and shuffling things around. I've been listening to my favorite I really like Badlands Media, and they have some great people who love the Lord, are trying to navigate all the things that are happening in the world and stuff like that. So they have been interviewing General Quast. And I don't know if you guys know who General Quast is, but it's Kwast, General Quast. And you should look at some interviews that he's done. He grew up in Africa, and his parents were missionaries. And he has such an interesting perspective on the world. And he was a fighter pilot during, the wars that we had down in Afghanistan and stuff like that. And I am not a fan of the wars. I feel like there are endless wars sometimes, and I am glad that people are trying to end wars. And I think there's a lot that goes on with that. But I won't get into that very much either. But because I am of that mindset, I often listen to different people. And I love to hear about people who have had experience in the military. And I even love more listening to people who are fighter pilots and who are aware of just the cool airplanes. I've always loved airplanes. Not enough to ever fly one. I don't have the best sight. I've flown in small and big airplanes several times. But I just have respect for the people who have the skills, right? We have Amelia Earhart, who is a female hero, and then I love Chuck Yeager. A lot of people are getting excited about going pursuing things in space again. And when I was young, I thought about going into aeronautics. I thought that was just really good. I was good in math until I got into calculus. So I was in 9th grade thinking I was good in math. And then I got into 10th and 11th grade and realized I wasn't that great at math. So it was a short-lived dream to be in aeronautics. And then unfortunately we had that, the space shuttle situation happened back in the day and all that stuff. So, but I read Chuck Yeager and his book, and I was just so intrigued by the pilots. We grew up with Maverick and, the Top Gun shows and all that stuff, right? So, did you guys watch Maverick this last year? It was really good. So I was listening to two of the guys on Badlands. They were talking with General Quat. They are military infantry. And a lot of the other people had interviewed General Quast. And I had not seen one of his interviews before. Maybe one I had. I may have seen one interview before. But the military boys were interviewing General Quast. So he shared about his military experience and his life experience growing up as a missionary son in one of the most remote tribes in Africa and what he learned. Oh yeah, I had heard General Quast before. He was talking about the honor of men, and I thought it was really interesting about and the honor of heroes, I guess, not men, but heroes. And he was talking about as a child, him and his buddies would play in the mud and make their heads look all muddy and gray because they wanted to be like the wise men in the tribe. And we've sort of lost that in America. And so I was thinking, wow, that is so cool to just hear that perspective. And I think there is a balance to honor everybody, right? We want to find people's gifts, their talents, and honor them in what they can and do for themselves and for our community, and just be grateful for the talents and the treasures that we have in people. So he was just talking about that, and he's just like, yeah, the younger generation respected the older generation in that culture, and the older generation respected the younger generation because they knew they would do foolish things, but they were the inventive ones too that helped the culture grow and learn and survive as cultures progressed, right? So because they may be foolish and try things that people who might have a little bit more wisdom are no longer willing to try. they cherish the kids in that way too. So that was an interesting interview as well. But back to the interview with the military boys. So General Quast was talking about how he, when he lived in Africa, he always knew he wanted to fly. He was so cool. He's like, I always wanted to fly. I knew I would dream of me flying, not necessarily in planes because I didn't see one back then, but I just always knew I wanted to fly. And he was a man of faith. So when he came to the States, you know, he saved. He just feels like the Holy Spirit put that in his heart. So when he came to the States, he worked hard, saved up money, got his, license to fly an airplane and stuff like that. He wanted to go into the military right away, but people really encouraged him to go to one of the big schools. I think it was Harvard. The guys were talking about that. And it was CanCon and Alpha, I think we're talking about that, are the names of the guys. And they've got their podcasts and stuff. You can check them out. But I know I talk like I'm so familiar with them because I watch their shows a lot. And it's just a great little family over there in Badlands. So anyways, I hang out in the balcony there a lot. But I love the opportunity to hear their insights and pray for the things that are happening in our world today and to get excited about the things that are happening in our world today. So this week I saw 2 interviews with General Quast. And so the first one was with the military boys. I'll just call them the military boys because it's easier for me to remember that. And so he shared about him getting his pilot's license and then going to college, and then out of college and military training, he was the first, when you're what are they called? They're young graduates out of their military school and stuff like that. Well, the planes that you're assigned to, he wanted to fly. He met all the criteria. He was number 1 in his class, all the things. And so they rarely, they just didn't give really super nice planes to the kids who just got out of school, right? Because they're a lot of money, and these are fast moving weapons and tools to protect our nation. And they just don't give them to the young kids unless, they just didn't. But General Quast was the first one to get an F-16. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. So he was a new grad out of their military school, and he was the first one to have the honor to have that to be that pilot and to have that plane. And so he, worked up through the ranks. He was talking about how he was a general commander, and he was the one who was called in to see what's wrong in an operation. Like, guys are out there fighting and they're like, okay, what's going on here? Oh, you don't have good communication. Well, let's get a beacon plane, or let's move a satellite to this. And then he would call, up the ranks in Pentagon and get what they needed as quickly as they needed. And so he pretty much made things happen for our military. So he's got a lot of respect from the boys, and he has a lot of respect for the younger guys in Badlands. So he really is living what he learned when he was young. And so the next interview, he was talking with the ghost of Patrick Henry, and oh my goodness, that is a handle of one of the guys who does geopolitics. So he was on geopolitics. I think it was with Ghost, or it was the narrative. I can't remember which one. It was one of them. Maybe it was the narrative. Oh yeah, because Burning Bright, who has the other handle, he goes on forever. And him, General Quast, were like there for 2 hours. So General Quast was, so with the military guys, he talked about the plane, and I was just like total egghead. I don't know if you know me. I love listening to Goes Patrick Henry and Matt Arrett from Canada. They're great on history, and I egghead out of them with them. It's just like they're so brilliant. And so General Quast called them brilliant, and just really intuitive to a lot of the stuff that is going on in the world. So it was. So I was listening to Burning Bright with his interview with General Quast, and they were talking about our presidents and his take on his interaction, the narrative, not necessarily everything that looks like it's happening, but what has happened, what are the actions like, how do they read out in executive orders and other actions and different things like that. So a lot of it is speculation, but we're talking about General Quast, who may be appointed to Space Force, and President Trump has been talking about Space Force. And Burning Bright, I think it was Burning Bright, and Ghost Patrick Henry, they've got the narrative, and then they've got the Book of Trump, respectively. And they have a podcast where they talk about the actions that President Trump has done, or they talk about the actions of people that we see in the news and what they say versus what they've done, and how it's reading out both culturally, narratively, and actually. So anyways, I just think I'm so fascinated by it. It's like we're talking about entertainment, and I've always liked the Cloak and Dagger and that kind of stuff, and I was interested in military stuff when I was young. So watching these guys, it's just fascinating to see. So it's the geopolitics, right? Why? Because these people have the power to send, our young men and women to war and to die. And, we need to know what they're doing on the world stage, why they're doing it on the world stage, and really see if there's more to what we're just being told on TV and in media, in the mainstream. So anyways, that's my philosophy in life. So anyways, I was so fascinated with his stories. They were talking about President Trump, and we're talking about Space Force and Space Command. So there's been a lot of news about, everybody's really concerned about AI and, the decisions that are being made with the tariffs, and the decisions that are being made with politics and the different countries and nuclear, and so much of that has been going on in the news just this week. And so a lot of times I will craft and listen to my shows and not follow all the craft shows. I like following the craft shows, but I also like to know what other things that are going on. So these are the things that have been taking up my mind and my thought space as I get to craft all night and get to pray about different things. So so they were talking about the AI and the different narratives, but let me back, or the different things that are happening. And I know I'm just all over the place. So I think those are very cool. And I want to think of some specific things that they were talking about that I just thought, man, that is so fascinating. So we're talking about General Quast, who might get Space Force. And we're talking about when Space Force was planned when it happened, and why is it important, and is it important for us to be investing in Space Force? Is it silly? And being geeky like I am geeky, I was like, yeah, what is up with all this? And so General Quast was talking about, it's all about energy, It's all about the space race is real. It's like the space race 2.0. And just like we need to get to space first. And a lot of people in the community don't believe that there's outer space and all that stuff. I don't know. I have no idea one way or the other. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine years ago, and we're talking about space. And and whether people believe people gone to the moon or not. Well, General Klaus says, yeah, people, stuff like that happened. That he'll prove that to people. So I tend to have a lot more respect. I was sort of getting it'd be interesting to know other things if other things are true. So I'm always open to another story, another theory, if there's proof, if there's real sauce about it. So I haven't been convinced that it isn't true at this point, but I was willing to wonder about it a little bit. But back in the day, I remember how closed-minded I was to, like, I just believed what was told to me. And then with a lot of things that have been happening, it's just like, oh, I guess I need to do some research on this. So I just always encourage people to research whatever they need to research if they're not sure about it. Especially since we invest so much money into things, it's just good to research those. So, oh, hi, Lizzie. You have been here for like 5 minutes and I just noticed, right? So I'm just here crafting along. You're hearing me talk about my crazy stuff. Yeah, so as you can tell, I love General Quast. And we've been talking about outer space, and with space control moving from Colorado to Huntsville, I just been geeking out over that. So I don't know if you're going to stick around because I've just been talking about the things that have been happening that I think are totally fascinating in the world right now. That is beyond gluing and inking and putting beads on things. So I hope you're having a good day. So General Quast was talking about, oh, it was so cool. He was talking to the guys and he's like, I'm so proud that you guys have been able to see what's happening on the geopolitical side of things with Russia and China and the race for outer space and how important it is to work together, even though it doesn't look like they're working together. So it'll be really interesting if all that stuff happens, but it's just fascinating. So, because there's things that are told to us, he's like, yeah. And General Quast says, yeah, we've just been lied to about a lot of stuff. And I'm like, well, if General Quast is saying that, I'll tilt my ear and say, talk to me some more. So anyways, there's, I'm not huge at deep diving into things, but I loved the Federalist Papers. I went to Washington, D.C. in high school, and just, again, the whole geopolitical stuff is fascinating. Who's related to who did what, who studied under who has started what company, where does the money go, all those things. Who has time to keep up with that? Nobody really, but we're crafters, right? So we get to stay at home and cut and watch a video. So whether it is a pretty video or buying or selling things or, learning about our world, I think all of it is important. So anyways, General Quast gave a compliment to the boys. And he said, because they were talking about, so Trump met with Putin in Alaska, and what is it they're talking about? They're talking about space. They're talking about cooperating. They're talking about, all these things that seem contradictory to other places that we're hearing things. So what they actually do and what we're actually hearing seem to be different things. The wars are real. I'm not going to say that things are not happening, but President Trump keeps on talking about, I want to stop people from dying. And there's other people who don't want to stop things from dying. And it seems like we've been in wars for a long time. And I really do believe that President Trump wants to stop. Nuclear war is awful. We just cannot have a nuclear war. So I think the race is to see who can get the energy and power to identify bad players, and you do that by being in outer space. So General Quast was talking about how in space and with Space Force, the whole goal is to be able to identify who has all the bad chemicals that can have a dirty bomb, and how can we stop them. We can stop them immediately from space because we can identify those bad chemicals and just destroy it in a minute from outer space. So the technology is not totally there yet. That's why he was talking about it's so important to encourage the younger generation to be innovative and to have those skills, because we need people to have those skills. And we need, Trump and all the countries are talking about having innovative, and why are all these people wanting to invest in AI and in quantum AI? That is why you need all that water and all that power. And you get that power from outer space on the other side of the moon with hydrogen 3. So they were talking about that, and I thought, oh, well, that is, and Elon has talked about that, right? So, and that would make power and energy not expensive anymore. It will be crazy. So anyways, I'm so intrigued to see, okay, is this stuff for real, or are they just talking, are they dreaming about stuff? But a lot of people are investing a lot of money into America and into other places and are racing to get this done. So I thought it was really fascinating that not Space Force, but Space Control. I did not realize they were two different things. But John Harold, also on Badlands. He is a guy who started Badlands, and he has the devolution theory. A lot of people thought he was crazy, but I think he's like right on. And but so that's how Badlands started. And so it's a little deep dive, but it's there. Badlands, just on Rumble or even YouTube. They haven't been cut off from that. They've had to like restart new channels all the time, because either they're saying something that is real, or for some reason YouTube feels like they need to cut them off. I don't know, but whenever that happens, like, hey, why is that? Okay, cloak and daggers, here I come. Who needs to watch TV when this is the world that we live in? It is amazing. So I hear they have really good lotion too. Anyways, we were talking about General Quast, and so President Trump this week announced that they are moving space control back to Georgia, and there's going to be like 60,000 jobs that are happening in Georgia, and it was temporarily in Colorado, and so there's bidding for who would win it and why they'd win it and stuff like that. Well, John Harold, who started Badlands was started to review those essays 2 years after he wrote them. Anyways, so he goes, oh yeah, I was talking about space control a few years ago, and it was always scheduled to be in Georgia, but Biden moved it over to stopped that, and so it restarted again. So Huntsville, Georgia is going to explode. There is going to be like 30 or 60,000 jobs there, and they're not going to call, and Trump said it's going to be called Rocket City. So could you imagine, like, Rocket City? It's just, how fun is that? So for the geek who's in aeronautics, I'm like, hey honey, should we move to Georgia? It's really cheap still there. It's relatively cheap, but I don't think it's going to be cheap there very much longer. So you have money to invest in cheap property in Georgia. I'm just saying it might be something worth doing, because just like Boise, Idaho, where houses are, we thought of moving to Idaho, and then I was looking at somebody driving through Idaho, and I was looking at Idaho prices, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. So, because Oregon is Oregon, I love living here. It's beautiful here, but there's issues with Oregon. So anyways, but imagine, so I'm all into the mindset, okay, you guys, we need to start like making journals that are like all, outer space, and the whole, kids are going to start, it's going to be just like under Kennedy. I think there's going to be the whole, let's get to the moon, the race, for, Trump referred to it as the high frontier the other day. And, we may not like what Trump's doing, but it doesn't mean we can't capitalize on the things that are happening in the world. I'm not saying I don't like what Trump's doing, but I know there's a lot of people who don't. So, I think there's things to learn and watch out for. And I've always been whimsical. I've done cute little space journals, outer space journals. And with my friends who like to talk about the sky is falling, it's playful, right? We can have fun with that. So, and it's great to dream. And yeah, it's cool. It's just fun things in the world are happening. And I've just been like geeking over it all and having a lot of fun with it. And so I got to do that. The week before, I went through all my fabric, every piece of my fabric, decided whether I was going to cut it down or fold it up and cut it down laser, because I need to use a roller thing with it or not. So, cut it with a roller blade instead of just tearing it down. So I went through all of my fabric and made kits for either me to play with or for you guys to play with. So let me show you what I did. I happen to be having a sale tomorrow with Yvette. So I went through with all my fabrics and did little kits with things for covers, a little bit of lace or something, and a cute little thing on the back. So and I organized them by season. So I've got boxes. I've got my winter, fall, summer, and spring all stacked up on each other, ready to sell. When those go out, the extra ones are going to go to Yvette and to Nakia. And then I will be able to put the things I haven't crafted into these boxes, and my workflow will be amazing. So that is something I've been working on too, and am so excited about. So I went through my own closet in my bedroom and freed up some of those boxes that were holding things and put them and organizing them. So I've checked some like big, it takes forever to do, but got those done this week. So that is really exciting. I really need to get out and work at putting some moss and clover and stuff down in my yard. I have not done any yard work or been outside very much this summer, unfortunately. But hopefully I'll be able to enjoy some of the fall. And then speaking of living in Oregon and awful things, I go to the beach often because I live close to the beach. We got another tax, not like we're going to have 10 of them implemented this year. But it's a fee for using the parks. And so I can't go to my favorite place free anymore. I have to get a pass. Thankfully, we can get an annual pass, and it's, if you want to call it reasonable, it's reasonable. But it's a shame that it is needed. And yeah, Portland's been a hot mess this week. The whole ice thing with Portland. I guess some other things blew up yesterday. I just couldn't even look at it. My heart just breaks over Portland. It's such a beautiful place, and people have ruined it. So, yeah, the things that we see and live with here on the West Coast, you would think it was in a movie. Oh, it probably has been in a movie, and now it's real. It's just crazy. I've been way entertained by some of my favorite shows to watch are Alias and Chuck. They're old school, but we're talking 90s. I'm playing with 90s ephemera. So I put this all together. What time is it? So it took me an hour to finish inking and sharing all this stuff with you. I don't know if there's anything else I want to chat with. I don't know if anybody else is here. It's Lizzie. So, oh yeah, the beach is so nice. It's a northern beach, so you don't get in the water, and it can be windy there. Um, but I love looking at the shipwreck, and we'll go and get lunch and go sit out and watch the ocean, or watch the ships come into our local town. That's always fun. But we haven't done a lot of that lately. My husband's been working really hard. If you live in a tourist town, there's never enough help. And they hired 2 people, and then they didn't really stay on for the summer. So that always happens. And so in a coastal town, it's like Christmas season for 5 months. And it's busier than our Christmases here. And so it's just that mad rush. And so I'm like, oh, summer's over. And so I just stay off the streets and stuff like that, because it's just bad here. We've got one main road that people drive on, and getting places can take twice as long. Just you where? Just me, girl? Oh, just you online, right? So you're going to have a live tomorrow night doing a sell, so that's exciting. No, I'm not a townie. I lived all over the United States. Mainly, I've been in New York and Colorado and California, and now Oregon. So I've been all over. I have always I've always felt at home on the West Coast, though. I had opportunities to go back. Oh, that is tonight. Yeah, because it's not Thursday, it's Friday. Yeah, my days are a little bit messed up. That's right, 7. Very, very cool. Well, it's been so fun seeing you around everywhere. We have been having fun shopping and buying things. Hey, what are you doing now? Are you crafting, or what are you up to right now? Do you want me to send you the link and we can just chat, or do you want to be typing things? Hey, peeps. Hey, Zippity. How are you doing? Oh, man, she was saved, wasn't she, Lizzie? Lizzie, I just went on a rampage about talking about outer space and the race for space and stuff like that. So I think you were saved. Lizzie and I are talking about still crafting. So I'm going to send her the link, and we're going to chat together, and it might be a lot more entertaining than my little rant. So give me a minute, and I will invite Miss Lizzie Jean. Let me see the best way to do that. I'm going to copy this, and I am going to Sorry about that, guys. I sort of got lost in, but I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I apologize. I closed a window that you guys were in, and I didn't intend to do that. So that's what happened, and I'm back. I hope you guys are still there. Let me see if I can do this on my YouTube and get that to Lizzie, and we will be good to go. We were talking about Lizzie has a show tonight, and she's playing with jewelry. And I brain multitask very well, obviously. And then now I can go do a text and send that to Lizzie. Is that just the link there? Let's do it this way. So sorry. I think I could do this quick, and then I don't. It's one of those things. So copy. That's what happened. Okay. So anyways, I am doing fussy cutting, and Lizzie is going to do my husband's going to be home at 4. So we will see how that goes. And I'm sending you that new link now. If my computer opens that up, things are just going crazy slow. There we go. Okay, that is actually the stream link. I apologize. That took a minute. So we are there. I'm going to go. Okay. So I sent Lizzie Jean the link. She may craft with us. So enjoy your, I hope you got a chance to enjoy coffee. Zippity, we are just crafting away. Working on, I am doing die cuts. Lizzie's already jewelry. What are you doing today? I'll wait for her to get to the. There we go. I see that it popped up for her. So hopefully she'll be able to bond a little bit before she has to prepare for the evening. What are you doing, Zippity? Oh, you're listening. Okay, good. Yeah, I am somebody who crafts from the balcony quite a bit because there's always something going on. I will probably, I should see what we're doing here. So Lizzie, did you get the stream? It was on my Facebook Messenger that you did. So I am still playing with Coquette. Isn't it crazy how that has been such a popular lately? Send it, let me try it again. Yeah, let me try that. Yeah, I'm getting the. Yeah, it looks like you're not on that friend, so that's um copy. Cool. I was gonna see if I could email you. Do invites. Let's do it this way. As soon as I can, lets me open you up. Just not letting me do it. Oh, I wonder. Here we go. I did send it. Let's try it again. Paste. Okay, there's this StreamYard. I sent the StreamYard to you twice, and it's saying it's from StreamYard. So hopefully that will work. Okay. So I'm going to keep on crafting. If it works, I'll try it another time and have you on. Let's just find you quick, because did you get it? Because it looks like I sent it to you in my Facebook feed. Did it pop up for you? I'm not quite sure what's going on. Add you on. Yeah, there really is a lag today. My goodness. Let me close these two things. Close this, and hopefully you will show up. I'm still not seeing. There you are. Yay. We did it. I think.
Yeah, I made it in. I'm just
Hey there.
not on a tripod.
We did it.
What did you say? Hello?
Yeah, I know.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
To
Let me put it on a. Put me on a tripod. I don't know how. I don't know how much of my desk you can see, but I don't have much room right at the moment. I'm preparing for a big old sale. I hope it goes as well as I would like it to.
That's okay. Yeah. I something, see if it helps.
I had a couple questions I wanted to ask you about selling, so this is a great opportunity.
Let's see if this is any better, because I think it might not work because the lag is so bad, and we both are getting the ring of death.
You can't hear me?
I just heard. I just heard that question. Can you talk again? Like, I'm not seeing you at all.
Well, you might not see me because I have my stuff. I don't know which way my camera's going. Can you see my hands now?
I think what I did actually made it worse than better. So I'm going to change back up. I was Friday, and then
Okay.
Let me see. Is that better again? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. And it's a ring.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, there you go. Oh, I can hear you
You can hear
too.
me
I just
now?
can't see
No.
you. I don't necessarily need to see. I would love
Can
to
you
see.
you want to
Oh,
see?
good.
Okay, let me take you
Yeah, I
off
can hear
of
just
that.
fine. Let me see.
Ah, okay. I know what happened. My ID closed my phone. So
Oh, there you
I
are.
have, yes, I have this huge stack, two huge stacks of fabric. Um, this huge contain, well, it's not huge, but this container of jewelry, necklaces and bracelets. This is a box full of handmaids and different things. Down here, I have some new stuff like inks and glitter glue and things like that. Um, so I just have a bunch of random things that I'm just trying to destash mainly. But um, I I'm kind of nervous about selling my fabric because it is vintage. I can't hear you if you're talking to me, honey.
And
Hi, everybody
is
out
that
there.
what
I
you're
can't
selling
hear anybody.
or what you're working on?
Tonight, yeah. Yeah, I have some D-stash items. Well, my jewelry's my D-stash too
Hi,
because I I've had
everybody.
this jewelry forever.
It
I'm not.
looks like it's you and
Hi.
me.
Let me let me see what um
I am so bummed. I have not figured out
how to what?
how to get people on without a feed.
Without a what?
There you've got.
Um where are you?
So I'm wondering
Yeah,
if it's a
it's either
Friday internet
my
thing.
it
I am
could
happy
be.
to call. Now let me see if I'm hearing you
Ah,
on
you
my
can't hear
YouTube.
me?
Oh,
Maybe you have your volume down?
I just heard I can't hear you.
Did you have your volume down on your phone?
Are you talk some more?
Did you have your volume down on your phone?
Yeah. All I
Okay, that's why.
was you can't hear me. So I think I'm getting like two out of every.
Well, you have
I
to
see
turn
now.
one thing down, one thing off. So,
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
can you
Journal
hear
or
me
something
now?
on your desk.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you
You
now, but
can?
that's all I've been able to hear was you saying, "Can you hear me now?"
Okay.
Yeah, but that's all I've been able to hear was you saying, "Can you hear me?"
All right. Well, I can hear myself on
Oh, there you
YouTube
are.
now. All right. Well, I can hear myself on
There you
YouTube
are.
now.
Okay, cool. Well,
I just
we'll see
must
how
be
far we can get.
lagging behind.
Okay, cool. Well,
I just must be lagging behind. I just must be lagging behind.
it's a lag, but I can hear you more than I've been able to hear you this whole time, so that's good. It's a lag, but I can hear you more than I've been able to hear you this whole time, so that's good.
Okay.
I can hear you more than I've been able to hear you this whole time, so that's good.
Okay.
I can hear you more than I've been able
That's good. Here's my jewelry box of stuff. That's good. And then my jewelry box. And then all my fabric. And like I said, I'm kind of nervous about selling my fabric because all my fabric. It's vintage. I'm kind of nervous about selling my fabric because it's vintage. About selling my fabric because it's vintage. I hope I'm not having problems with my Wi-Fi over here. I'm going to be upset if that happens during my sale.
Well, we tried. We put in a good
I'm going to be upset if that happens during my
effort too.
sale.
I don't have an answer for why it's not working today. I don't have an answer for why it's not working today.
Okay.
But the last thing I heard you say was video call. I think that's the way we should do it. Since it's just but the last thing I heard you there might be another call. I think that's the way we should do it. Person on. Is anybody
What's that?
there might be another anybody still there? Anybody else still there? Is it
What's that?
as good as we wish? And make
What's that?
sure you go to
Okay.
Lizzie Jean. Lizzie, go ahead and put the chat so that people can check you out tonight. Lizzie, go ahead and put the chat so that people can check you out tonight. Lizzie, go ahead and put
Okay.
I will do it.
Don't know. Okay.
I will do it.
Don't know.
And then I will minute.
Let's see.
And then I will okay. Minute.
Let's see.
Okay. And then I will minute.
Let's see.
I've got you in there.
Let's see.
I've got you in there. I've got you in there. I've got you there.
You just keep saying the same thing over and over. It's funny. You just keep saying the same thing over and over. It's funny.
I know.
You just keep saying the same thing over and over. It's funny.
No. Well, I've tried to put you in it saying having trouble connecting. Oh, there it goes. No. Well, I've tried to put you in it saying having trouble. Oh, there it goes. Oh, well, I've tried to put you in it saying having trouble. Oh, there it goes. Well, I tried to put you in it saying having